Let's raise the voltage. All right, not still damaged though. All right, oh my god, it's damaged. Oh, oh shit. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another interesting video. I'm Suckers is my name, and in this video tutorial we're going to be opening up some tools which I actually got on AliExpress. I'd like you to join me in my journey of opening all the kind of tools I got. There's not a lot of tools, just a few tools, and I want you to join me on the opening. I'm going to be testing some kind of capabilities which the item can do, and also the possibilities of how it came, the packaging and everything. So join me as we open up the package, and let's go. Yep, the one you're actually waiting for, the DSOTC3 oscilloscope. Yeah, this is actually a handy and very portable oscilloscope which you can get on AliExpress. Also, be leaving the link in the description. And I'm very happy with the oscilloscope. It's actually written here, the 3-in-1 oscilloscope. What does that mean? Anyways, we're gonna see it. Coming from a company named rest, I guess. Anyways, let's just see what inside. I hope this is actually what it looks. And looking at the oscilloscope, it comes safely without any rumples on the body. The packaging was nice. I removed the first packaging. Oh wow. Okay, looking at the oscilloscope inner body, we actually see the first packaging. What does it packaging actually contain? Let's see. Let's remove the big one first, and let's see what is inside of the small packaging. All right, we have a lot of wires right here, but I can tell that this is actually the wire which you will need if you want to measure frequency and other stuff like that. But yeah, so I guess this will be going to the oscilloscope, and this will be using to test and stuff like that. And also these wires, yep, I remember this type of probes. This probe is a type of oscilloscope probe. You just need to draw it right here to clip whatever you want to clip. So if you want to clip in something, this is very important. If you want to clip in something and actually get what the value of something, or the frequency, or the waveform being generated by any frequency generator which actually generates. Thirdly, the cord which you actually see here is actually the charging cable. So it's actually imputed with a rechargeable battery, which is very nice, and I appreciate that. Going back to the main box, we actually found a manual. Yep, you really need to read manuals in order to not damage your oscilloscope. I really read this manual, but I'm not done with it yet. We're going to be reading it, and you're going to wait. Let's read it. Alright, unfortunately we cannot be able to read everything, but I guess I get the main point on how not to destroy the oscilloscope. That is the thing that is more important. But I saw some precautions that I would like to share with you guys. I don't know if you're interested. If you're interested in reading, just let me know. First, if it's actually said, after receiving this device, please use it after it's fully charged. So you really need to charge the device to make it fully charged so that you don't get something spoiled. So that is the one theory which I love about these manuals. They always tell you to charge the battery in order not to damage the battery in the future and actually sue the company of putting the wrong battery into your oscilloscope. Anyways, going into the main oscilloscope, what do we see here? We actually see the main oscilloscope, which is looking nice in a packet and looking nice in a waterproof. We're going to remove that, and a good styrofoam which is inputted into the oscilloscope to make it safe in transportation. I love that, and actually not going to damage your oscilloscope in the way, no matter how it's been thrown by different men. Anyway, let's open up the oscilloscope and look at what we have. Oh my days, I've already peeled the paper which actually here, so you definitely find a paper covering the screen right here. But it's really handy and really small. I like the way it is. I like the way it is. It's really handy, really small. It's not that big. It's really portable and everything. I like the way it is. And looking at the manual, I remembered and I got to know that this place actually right here is actually what you use to actually, test test the component, I guess. And I guess we're going to be testing the component later on. But anyways, right up here we can see a good 3-port right here. When I read the manual, this first port is actually what you use to, I guess, to measure the frequency or the waveform on output of a PWM signal right here, and this is actually what generates. So you can use this oscilloscope to actually generate triangle wave, sine wave, square wave, and any other kind of wave which you need. I'm going to be on and on for you guys. Just hold on. This last port right here, you can use it to test voltage from 0 to 40. As you can see right here, it's written loud and clear. So let's open. Anyways, let's turn it on. All right, so we have different selection. You can select oscilloscope to test the waveform of any PWM signal which actually generates or stuff like that. You can also go back using this red button right here, which actually says back. It actually made a beeping sound to ensure that you press the button, which is nice. And you can use these navigation buttons to actually select through the menu, and if you move to the right, you go to generator. So when you go to a particular menu, if you want to click OK, or you want to select that particular menu, there's actually OK right here. You gotta click it, and you can generate either sine wave, or you can go down to square wave, pulse, triangle, ramp, DC. Yeah, it can also generate voltage. I don't know. Anyways, going over to the second menu, we can see tools right here. I guess this is, you can also use this oscilloscope to actually check voltage. You can use it to check the DS18B2. What is this? I'm going to put it up on the screen when I search it. Anyways, you can also use it to test DHT11. This is actually a temperature / humidity sensor. I remember this. I've made this project before. Go watch it right here, and you're going to understand what I'm actually saying. This is really nice, and I guess why it's called 3-in-1, because you can use it to generate frequency, you can use it to measure frequency, and also you can use it to measure voltage, which is done by a multimeter, but this can handle it, and it's really nice and really cool. So I guess this is the tester. It's actually called the M tester. You're going to select this particular menu to be able to test your transistor if it's actually working or stuff like that, and we're going to be practicing it and testing one of the transistors, and let's see what it says. I'm going to be getting a real good transistor. I don't think I can find a spoiled transistor, but we're going to be testing different components. Let's do it. By the way, you want to get some transistors from this kit. Actually, what I got on AliExpress, I actually selected a particular item which I'm actually going to be talking. I got from AliExpress. I also got it from AliExpress, and you can also find the link to get it in the description of this video. Right here, which I'm actually collecting, is actually the BC547. So we're going to see if it actually works, and let's see how the oscilloscope actually determines the type of transistor which I input in it, and basically everything. This is actually a BC547. I don't know if you can see it clearly. My camera shit can focus check. Well, I think I get no result right here. Let's read the manual again. So after looking at the manual and kind of looking at the manual a little bit, I actually understand how to do it. This is actually BC547 transistors. I said we don't know if it's NPN or PNP. We don't know the base voltage. We don't know the HCF, and we don't know. Anyways, we don't know the pins. Anyways, what you just need to do, you have to input it inside this pin. You can see 1, 2, 3. It says right here. So the pin of the transistor is actually 3. So you just need to insert it inside like so. Boom. Then you need to lock it with this lever right here. Lock it, and you click OK to test. Let's wait. All right, we got the values. You can see it actually say the base is actually the second pin, the first pin is actually collector, and the third pin is actually emitter. The HCF is actually 335. The base voltage, the base emitter voltage is actually 0.74. Yeah, the normal base voltage of transistor is actually 0.7, but 0.74 volt. Yeah, cool. And the collector current is actually 7.5 milliamps. So not really good in high power type of project, but yes. And it actually says the transistor is actually NPN. So the oscilloscope is a perfect choice for measuring the kind of transistors if it's actually damaged or stuff like that. But what if we actually damage the transistor? Is it going to still get the values or stuff like that? Let's damage the transistor. Okay, I'm going to be testing it out with my PSU right here, power supply, which I actually got from AliExpress. Also, I was thinking of making a full video on unboxing, but I just picked few components. If I make all the unboxing, the video is going to be like 1 hour, and I don't want it to be like that. So I'm going to be making the full video I already made a short on explaining a few components which I got on my new studio setup, so just pick a few components to talk about. Anyways, back to what you're saying. This is actually the BC557, and we're gonna try to blow this shit up, and let's see if it's actually really gonna blow up. So I'm gonna run in around 12 volt into the BC547. Sorry, BC547. So the normal voltage which you actually saw right here, the base voltage actually as we see right here is actually 0.7, but I want to run 12 volt and let's see how it got fried. Anyways, all right, so first thing, go to turn off this thing so that we don't get our eyes blown up. We're going to separate the pins a little bit, and we're going to put the positive to the base of the transistor without a resistor, which is really dangerous, and you're going to blow up your transistor. Definitely don't try this at home if you still want your transistor to live. And emitter, we got the emitter as the third pin, so we're going to put in that voltage right here, and let's see how it works. And I'm going to be setting the PSU to actually supply normal voltage of about 1 amps, and let's see how it is. Now first off, we're going to be lowering the voltage. All right, just turned it on. I'm going to use this thing to hold it a little bit. You need a hand here. Right, let's hold it in place. All right, let's raise the voltage. Let's see what actually happens. Gonna raise the current a little bit. All right, let's raise the voltage. All right, I guess it's damaged. I guess it's already damaged. You can see that quick wrap up of the spike of currents. Let's see one more time. Increase the current a little bit. Increase the voltage. All right, I guess it's not still damaged though. All right. All right. Oh my God, it's damaged. Oh, oh, oh. Oh my, I guess the transistor is really damaged right now. I don't know if you can see it. The transistor is definitely damaged. Let's test it and let's see what the meter actually says. So we are going to insert this into the oh my, I lost one leg of the transistor, my bad. Let's burn another transistor. Well, I guess we did our second testing. We burnt a transistor, tested it back into the oscilloscope, and instead of the oscilloscope to like tell us that okay, the transistor is damaged, it actually says it's actually a resistor. So actually, I completely understand putting a transistor and having a resistor value on the oscilloscope clearly tells you that the transistor is bad because it's just breaching the base is not needed anymore. It's just a breach, and if you put in power into this thing is gonna burn more and it's gonna spoil your circuit. So this is enough to tell you that the transistor is damaged and it's just conducting current like in one pad. Basically a resistor, or did they say 8.6 ohms? Oh my God, it's really fantastic. And before I forget, this component which I'm actually testing, which I got from AliExpress, is actually from a sponsor. So the items I'm actually showing right here, I got it from a sponsor, and I want to use this medium to thank the sponsor very much for giving me these items and actually supporting my channel, which really means a lot to me. Thank you very much. His name remains anonymous. Alright, we tested the transistor and we got the values, and we also got the values that it's spoiled, and you have to know as an electronic enthusiast. But the meter does not actually shows you the transistor is spoiled, the transistor is damaged. It can show you kind of different components when you put in a transistor, because maybe the transistor become a resistor as you saw, or a diode or stuff like that. Anyways, I want to test the capacitor, and that will be the final, I guess. I'm going to be testing the resistor. So this capacitor right here is actually a 10 UF capacitor. I don't know if you can see it right here. It's actually a 10 UF capacitor, and it has a 50 volt, and we're going to test it out, and we're going to see what values it's going to make. I'm going to kind of level the legs, and the legs to be the same. All right, let's insert it inside. So we're going to put it in the number 1 and the number 2. Going to put it as so. We're going to lock it in place with this valve right here. And we're going to test, run. Let's see what it shows us. All right. All right, capacitor. It got it correctly. It wrote a capacitor. So this is a capacitor right here, and it says actually 9,822 NF, which is close to 10 UF. This is actually NF conversion, close to 10 UF, but it's really not 10 UF. So it's giving us 9.8 UF, not actually 10 UF. But yes, so maybe I guess it can be correct because these capacitors are not always the same value as they write on top due to pressing punches on the body and stuff like that. So it gave us a good practical and thing. So I'm just going to blow it up and let's see if it actually still gives us the same thing. I'm going to run about, this actually says 50 volts. Oh my god, I don't have 50 volts. How do I blow this shit? Anyways, let's find out. All right, we got a 10 UF. This time we got a 16 volt. Okay, this is actually 470 UF, but it's actually 16 volt because my PSU can be able to power 50 volt to blow up this thing. So maybe 16 volt to be good. So we're going to be blowing up it. But first off, let's test it again and let's see if you're going to have 470 UF. All right, we got the values. Actually say 470 UF, so correct, and it's very good. And the V loss, voltage loss is actually 0.5%, which is good, and resistance actually 11 ohms, I guess. Okay, again, to spoil this capacitor actually right here, I want to see if I can damage the capacitor and still get the values on the oscilloscope. So I'm going to spoil it with my PSU right here from AliExpress. So the capacitor is rated 16 volts, as we can see. So I'm going to put in around 30 volts. Let's see how it blows in the air. So the longest pin is actually positive, right? All right, let's just put it anyways. All right, this is gonna freak out. I'm just gonna start up with some voltage though. All right, 2 volt.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Too bad. Oh my god. Oh my days. You can see that shit that actually came out from it. Damn. It's actually released a lot of air right here though. Holy crap. Alright, we are having about 470 UF at the first time. So let's see if it's still 470 UF or things have changed actually. Just gonna put it in. Alright, lock it in and test. Test, chat. Oh my days, it's now a resistor, chat. A resistor? 300 kilo ohms resistor though. So I think the plate inside, you know that a capacitor is made of 2 plates and the plates are separated. So I guess the voltage which I actually inputted from my PSU was too much and it actually breached those 2 plates, and now it's now a resistor. So putting a transistor and having a resistor value will tell you that the capacitor is damaged. So I love this oscilloscope. Let's go to the final. So the last but not the least, the last product which you actually have here is actually the sodium ion. Now this sodium ion is very compatible sodium ion. It has battery inside, and I got it from AliExpress. You can get it in the link in the description. So we're gonna quickly open it up like so. All right, it comes with a good case, and I like it that it comes with a case too. Oh my god, I like it that it actually comes with a good case to actually keep it safe and transportation will not get rid of it. It actually says open right here, so let's open it up. Oh my days, chat. Okay, we have a manual as usual, and I have to read this manual as so. But come on, sodium ion is a simple shit. No need of the manual. Anyways, read your manual so that you don't get your component damaged. Okay, what do we have here? We have the lead solder right here. We have the sodium ion right here. Really cute. And we have the cord right here. It comes with the cord, and yes, this sodium ion actually have a battery inside. We really need to charge it. And what is this? All right, this is actually the tip. Oh, it's actually nice though. We gotta keep this aside, and let's see the solder. Oh, okay, what is this? What does it say? Soldering flux. All right. Alright, you really need this in your soldering job to keep your solder tip very clean from corrosion and keep it clean and safe. You're gonna keep this aside. Also, looking at the solder, wow, it's really portable and nice. I like the way it is. I like the design actually. And it's written here 3.7 volts. So there's actually 3.7 volt battery right here. They actually have a USB Type C, which you need to plug it to your charger to charge it and stuff like that. So we're gonna turn it on real quick. First off, we're gonna put in the tip right here. I already knew that. And okay, and when I read the manual, you need to press and hold this button to turn it on. 3 seconds actually. Alright, and you can see the temperature is actually wrapping up. You're just gonna wait for it to wrap up, and we're going to solder some stuff. Alright, I guess it's pretty much on, and it's actually at 340 degrees. I really have a low battery right here. We really need to plug it. Okay, moving this LED solder, which actually comes with it, and it actually do solder though. Wow, I love it. Look at it. Wow. Besides, I'm not connecting it to anything. You can see I'm not connecting it to anything. It's actually the battery doing the job. Nothing, no connection, no wireless transfer. Wow. This is really nice. Oh my days. Wow. So the other thing which I actually like about this solder is actually it's portable. You don't need to plug it to your socket. You can carry it to somewhere if you don't have electricity, and you can power it on. It's really nice. I recommend you to get it. Link in the description to get the soldering iron. And I love it. Thank you very much for watching this video. It's really a great pleasure to watch this video. And if you want to turn it off, just press it for 3 seconds again, and it's off. So I think we have come to the end of the unboxing of these tools, which actually go to my AliExpress. I'm really happy about it, and it's kind of turns out to be well and practically well. I really like it, and I appreciate you guys for staying tuned from the beginning of this video to this point. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Do also subscribe to my channel if you like what I do, and also you can subscribe on my Patreon or join for free as a free member to support what I also do on my Patreon. Actually post behind the scenes. If you want to get that, join my Patreon. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you around.